It all starts here.
This is Roland Hagenberg in New Mexico.
The people that have influenced me the most have spirit and they're doers. And the most inspiring people that I've met are people that have really lived a life of service.
Politics have not always been on the mind of Val Kilmer, the actor who played in Top Gun, The Doors, Batman Returns and The Saint. As he explained to me, he was a different man in the 70s. Now, even Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico thinks that Kilmer has it all to take over his job in 2010.
I'm trying to make no separation in my life anymore. The things that I've cared about in the spiritual world or about
separation. Okay.
Missed out on a lot of life being critical. Like talking about art.
Critical or cynical?
Critical. And cynical. I grew up in that time in the 70s when it wasn't cool to. I think there's very clearly right and wrong behavior, and we all know and can do better than we let ourselves be. And great people have our testimonies of achievement by very simple things at the end of the day. And I never end up thinking about politics when I think of them. They seem to have moved past that. Nelson Mandela is a great example. And most of the United States, the recent government practices that it's not democracy by anyone's definition, any honorable man's definition. And but I don't think ill of our president. I want to support the office, But if there are things that are happening that are not the most America can be, then that's what we have to try to change, however we can.
Criminal scum like you made me.
I can't imagine that Shakespeare wasn't a good man and fascinated with the lives of his actors and influenced by them because he loved people so much. I think he used every idea he could get his hands on. If you heard a good story from the barkeep, he put it in and made a joke about the barkeep so everyone knew it was his joke. I think he just had such a love. And I've worked with a few directors who just love people. He called me in the middle of the night because he heard me say something.
Oliver?
He heard me say something about my character in an interview for another film. They didn't call and say thank you. He called and says, "Don't say anything. Don't say your character dies. Just save it." That was great. That's a real car, and it goes, 160 miles. Cape costs 50 grand.
Huh.
It's rubber.
Oh, the cape?
The cape.
Oh.
I don't know how much the ears cost, but 67. I mean, it's a $500,000 costume. The artistry is world class. I mean, these are award-winning designers that have come up, and they would bring them, look what we, and the beautiful leather cases with the bat signal on it. It's just their little toy, Yeah. Our country uses 25% of the energy. I mean, no great innovations would come with people thinking like that. Kind of opulence is over, and I say it's over, but we haven't caught up to be responsible yet. In terms of art, there's showed pictures of Basquiat and Schnabel, and I grew up in New York at the time that when they were struggling, just beginning, and Clemente, a lot of fine work, and it was wonderful stuff happening in music. I would go to the museum before I would understand, like some of my classmates, that the Sex Pistols were as interesting. So I think now, especially with younger generations, my children, they seem to have a sense of everything that's beyond just the availability of all music in an iPod. They just seem to be more sophisticated. I was a terrible snob, and I was taught to be prejudiced about certain styles and things. And I think there's maybe more love